Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm here to share with you this super fun little notebook holder that I made with the Dollar Tree sticky notes. These are the ones that are hanging up by the paper clips. Super fun. This is a great craft fair item. It's easy to make. I did 3 of them at the same time. In less than 30 minutes. So like I said, it's very quick, easy. You can use a lot of your scraps. If you don't use scraps, you can make 3 albums by using 3 sheets of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and 3 sheets of 12 by 12 paper. So, I don't know. Oh, my third one's not done yet. Okay, so what I'm using today, let me show you the project. How fun is this? Super fun. This was inspired by Simply Stamped. We did her project for her 5x8 notebook. I think it was 5x8 or 4x8. I can't remember the measurement. But we did it week 1 of the hashtag 52 projects that is in my playlist. So all I did was kind of take her concept and I scaled it down to fit this small little notebook. Okay. And I'm also going to do a tutorial. I did a different size notebook as well using her tutorial as inspiration. So let's get started. Okay, so I am using Photoplay the Daily Grind. I did use the cover sheet. The blue pieces were the cover sheet. So this is just the cut apart. But here I did use the cover sheet. So don't throw anything away. You're going to have weird cuts, and I'm going to show you on a different piece of paper because I already prepped all of my pieces, because like I said, I was doing 3 at a time. So I've already prepped all my pieces with this paper collection, but I will show you on another paper collection. All of your cuts you're going to keep because everything fits and you have very little scrap. Okay, so first and foremost, what you want to do is go ahead and take your notebook out of the package and you want to split it in half. Doesn't have to be exact. Oh, that one I did exact. You can count out the pages. There's 125. You can count them out, whatever. I just eyeballed it and called it half. I don't think anyone's going to care. I took the white thin sheet off. And now I'm going to add a thick cardstock. Not a thick cardstock, just a regular piece of cardstock. Doesn't matter what color. I cut it down slightly smaller than the 3x5 just so it fit. I'm just going to use glue it on. It just gave it a little bit more stability when you're putting it in the belly band. You probably don't even have to do this step, but I wanted a little bit more stability. Alright, so this is how we're going to prep it. And I'm going to show you real quick how to put it in. Okay. Alright, so all I did is take a few sheets, probably a little less than that, and stick it in there. It'll give you some resistance, so you just do less sheets. Just kind of tuck it in. There we go. I don't know why it was stuck on something. That's it. Very easy. Super cute. I haven't decided if I'm going to decorate the front or not, or if I just want to put it in a plastic bag and leave it as a purse notebook. I haven't decided that yet. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to need your 8.5 by 11. I'm using 110-pound weight cardstock. I suggest you do the same. And you are going to, your page needs to be 5 1/4 by 10 3/4. So 5 1/4 by 10 3/4. Now, you can use your scoreboard or your paper trimmer. It doesn't matter. I'm going to just use my paper trimmer. These are very easy scores, okay? On the 10 3/4 side, so the long side, you're going to score at 3 1/4. So 3 1/4 and 3 3/4, so 3 3/4. Then you're going to score at 7 7 1/2. So 7 7 1/2. Okay, that's it. Book's done. That's it. This piece right here, do not throw away. You need this extra piece. You need this whole sheet of paper, okay? So let's go ahead and take care of this piece, right? So this piece is going to be our pockets, our belly band, and our closure. Not lying. It's going to be all of these, okay? So the first cut you want to make on this sheet of paper is you want to make it 4 1/8. So 4 1/8. Bring that down here, and you need another piece that's 4 1/8. So 4 1/8. Okay. Now we're going to cut these 2 pages down to 2 1/2. So 2 1/2. Keep this piece. Keep it. This is our belly band. Okay. And then this piece again, we're going to cut it down to 2 1/2. Okay. So these pieces are 4 1/8 by 2 1/2. Now you have an extra belly band. You don't need 2, but you know, you have 2. Okay. So these are 4 1/8 by 2 1/2. We're going to go ahead and score them on 2 short sides and 1 long at a 1/2 inch. And these are our pockets. Standard pocket, nothing cray. Okay, so you see how we scored on the here, and the bottom. Okay, do the same thing. 1/2 inch. Rotate. 1/2 inch. Rotate. 1/2 inch. Again, these pieces were 4 1/8 by 2 1/2. 4 1/8 by 2 1/2. Okay, set these aside with our already scored thing here. Take one of your belly band pieces. This piece should be roughly 3/4 by, I don't know. Let's see. 3/4 by 4 1/8 maybe. I don't know. This is this piece you need. We're going to go ahead and score it at a 1/2 inch. Rotate it in a 1/2 inch. Okay, so it looks like this. Score line there and a score line there. Okay, because we're essentially making it like that. Okay, so add that to your pieces. And I think that is all. Oh, yeah, this second piece, this is going to be our closure. Sorry, I forgot about that. That's going to be our closure. So the only waste that we have is this little chunk and the little bit of piece that we're going to cut off our closure. So this is using up your cardstock, your heavyweight cardstock. So, you know, this little piece here too, you can even mount something on it and put it on the front if you wanted to do that, so you don't waste any piece of that cardstock. Okay, let's assemble. So, very easy. Let's get out our score tape. Score tape is going to be your easiest. Glue is going to be more cost effective if you're using these for, what you call them? Crafters. Okay. But time-wise, score tape is faster. Alright, so all we're going to do is go ahead, line our pockets. And just, you know, make a regular pocket. And actually I should cut these other pieces so you guys can see what I'm talking about with the pattern paper. Because I have all my pattern paper prepped, but I can prep another one. Okay, and yes, I am doing this in real time. Take your belly band that we scored 1/2 inch on either side, and there's that, and there's that. Oops. Okay. Now your belly band, your closure is going to be last. The closure is this little piece here that I use a Velcro dot. So you're going to do that last. So you can just kind of move that to the side because you have to measure with that one. And each book is going to be different-ish. So just kind of leave it alone. All right, let's take our pockets and we're going to go ahead and cut up right at that intersection here. Get a miter. Good to go. Make sure we're varnishing. 110-pound cardstock is kind of hard to work with, so varnishing is your best friend. Speaking of hard to work with, the daily grind paper is glossy, and so score tape, I don't know, it wasn't working well. So I suggest if you are going to use this paper line, to not bring your backing paper all the way down, because look, it just pops right off because it's glossy. So I don't know, I was already done with 2 books when I realized that, so it is what it is. Okay, let's make sure we varnish our belly band. Now I did matte the inside here, and I did the back. When the original tutorial with the big notebook, I don't believe she did the back, or she didn't do one of either the inside or the back. It still looks nice either way. I just went ahead and did it just because to me it just looked a little bit more complete. It looks nice either way. Okay, so what now we need to do is go ahead and take all of our pieces and move them to the side. I just clip them together, move it to the side. Now we need to work on our book, okay? First and foremost, we need to varnish. And we need to varnish. I think I went backwards with this one. That's okay. It's fine. Alright, so here's our book. It's going to look like that. Okay? Easy. Okay. Alright, so we need you need 6 pieces that measure, let's see. And this is just with the border that I like. And so these are 3 1/8 by 5 1/8. Now, if you want a different border, obviously do your own measurements. For instance, this one, I wanted some white to break up such a dark paper going on black. I didn't have any other weight, any other 110-pound weight cardstock other than black, and so I wanted to break it up. So the white piece here is 3 1/8 by 5 1/8, and then my pattern is 3 by 5. So if that makes sense, okay? So do your own measurements. This is going to be my front right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down. Okay. I like doing them this way so I know that my coffee cups are going to be right side up. So pick out your colors, use the backs of your pattern paper. If it's a cohesive collection, you know, you can mix and match. I just wanted mine to be the same when you open it. here. And in case you're wondering, this little coffee cup that I'm using, this is from Sweet Sentiments. It's called the Espresso because you're pressing. It's like a glue smusher. Alright. Then my back piece, I decided to go with the floral. I probably should have used glue on my inside pockets with this glossy paper, but whatever. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead. These were border strips. I had some border strips left over from this paper collection, and then I miscut. So I had like a really thin piece of the stripe paper. And these measure, they're just slightly less than 1/2 inch. I think they are they're about 3/8 inch by 5 1/8. So use these scraps. There's very little waste with these, especially if you're doing 3 at a time. I had very little waste on my 12 by 12 paper. Okay. All right. Flip it over, and we're going to use my inside. This is all I had left over from these 3. So, yeah. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do my inside. So when you cut the, if you're doing 3 at a time, 3 books at a time, you get the perfect amount of paper left over to cover your pockets. Like you'll get this little measurement here. Isn't that great? So you don't even have to measure it. It's just the leftover pieces. I mean, obviously you'll have to use different pocket pieces for each one. If you're doing, a whole bunch of them at a time, or if you want to do them all the same, then you will have to cut. But I didn't. So this is actually 1 7/8 by 3 for the pockets. This is what was left over. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I'm going to mount my make sure your direction is right, and just lay it down. I just like a little bit of border. Some people like that 1/4 inch border. I like the 1/8 of an inch. Sometimes I like 1/4 inch, depending on what I'm doing. And again, all your paper is double-sided, so if you want to change up your look, just flip it over. I think I'm going to make a lot of these for giddies coming up in the next couple swaps, because who doesn't love a notebook, right? And I just bought a whole bunch of paper at the expo that I had no plans for, so everyone's getting notebooks. Okay, and then here's that, and smush it in. Okay. Alright, pocket time. Oh, I guess I should have said, if you don't like the look of the back of the closure, then just, wait to mat your back page. I like that, so I just left it there. The other one, I did make it a little bit nicer, and I corner around at the edges, but sometimes these closures will like rip off, and so I just kind of left it so that way if it does rip off, you can just replace it quickly, and you know exactly where to line it up for that Velcro. But your choice. I'm gonna go ahead and mat my pockets. The swap I'm gonna do this coffee theme, so this paper was perfect. As you can see, the pockets give you a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch matting, but I was okay with that because, again, I just was using what was left over from when I cut out the pieces. Oh wow, this is only 20 minutes. And it does take less time than this. It's just I'm trying to show you slowly. Whatever. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and line up our pockets to where you want it. If you want a little border, have a little border. If not, then don't. Smush it in really well. So I cut all of my things first, and cutting and prepping for the pattern paper took me about 10 minutes, if that, maybe 10, 15, I don't know. It's a very short time, and then putting them together was really quick. Obviously when you're not talking or showing, you can whip them out. Okay, so there's my pockets, they're done. Now my belly bands. Here's my belly band. Take off your tape. Make sure there's no overhang. And you're just going to place it wherever you want. I just kind of decided there. Slightly above my pockets. Okay, so now we have our prepped notebook. A few sheets. Maybe a little bit more. You want to put enough pages in there to where it doesn't slide down. But you don't want to put too much that you're annoyed that you can't get it in the belly band. And that cardstock back helps with getting it in and out of the belly band. Okay. Center it. Close your book. Take your other little piece that you had left over. And you're going to measure this. So you're going to just kind of go in where you want it. And just kind of do like that. Okay, and then what I did was just kind of clean up those creases. So here's one, and then the other. Okay, creases were cleaned up. Corner rounder on the piece that's going to be on the front. And then, again, this is your preference. Determine how much of this back piece that you want. I just kind of eyeballed it. Just kind of put a little thumb impression in my nail and went through here. Now, I tried to do a measurement for all of them, but they're all going to come out different because, like, this one's a little bit wider. So just kind of, it doesn't have to be exact, okay? I'm going to corner around these ends to kind of finish it. And I'm going to glue the back tab. Again, starting on the front, making sure you don't want it super tight, but you want it in place. You want to make sure it's not crooked. All right, get it on there. And, oops. Oh my gosh. There we go. Yep, that's where I want it. Smush it down. You're good to go. Scrap piece of that paper. We're going to cut it down to just under 3/4 of an, or excuse me, 3/8 of an inch. I'm just going to eyeball it here. Hope for the best. Yep. Oh, that's for the best. Okay then. Alright, again, I'm just going to eyeball where I want it. Just kind of put a nail imprint where I thought it looked good. Trim it down. I mean, if you think, if you're good with scissors, you can totally just cut it down. But I'm not good cutting with scissors straight, so it goes in the paper trimmer. Okay, I'm going to corner around here. And you're just going to glue in here if that's how you want it. I kind of want mine a little bit bigger. I didn't eyeball it correctly. It's okay. There's plenty more. Like I said, it was just a scrap. So, yeah. I wanted a little bit less of a border than what I had there. Again, it's your preference. And I'm just using scraps, so Do it until you get it right. Okay. Yeah, I like that one. No, I don't. Anyway, so the book is done, unless you're being super nitpicky like I am, which is being ridiculous, but you know how we are. I'm not going to edit this out because we all have been here. Okay, now I'm happy with it. Now it's mad at me. Alright, so that's the end of the book. You can decorate the front. I would suggest to keep it simple. Maybe do one of the cut-aparts in the paper collection and just stick it on the front. I wouldn't suggest doing any type of thick embellishments because you just want people to throw this in their purse or whatever. Christmas time would be really great, you know, for people to make their little list. Velcro dot. And get it to where you want it. Make sure your Velcro dot works. And you're good to go. You can add some of the paper collection cut-aparts in the pockets. You can laminate it. You can even, you know what? We could even use our chunk that's left over. Put it in there as like a little tag, a little bookmark, whatever you want to do. But we are done, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.